Well, one of the things that drives the work in the studio is the fact that with the collective I'm in, a group of artists, every 6 months we have a new show and all the work comes down off the walls and a whole new body of work needs to go up for each artist. So this body of work here was created specifically for this show, and that puts all kinds of interesting constraints and incentives into the work, because while you're working to create enough work to fill your wall, you're also looking for that little avenue, that little path that's going to take the paintings you're working on now into a realm that's a little bit new. And that's certainly very central to my work, that the painting is always changing. So I have this kind of two-legged horse where I have to paint enough to fill the wall and at the same time keep the door open to everything changing at any moment. And this body of work is vastly different from the previous body of work, which is much more strongly colored and much more abstract. These are encaustic paintings, so they involve pigmented beeswaxes, and that's a certain kind of handling that's needed. And what began to happen was that I was working with the panels. These are all painted on wooden panels, and putting a coat, a gesso coat on the panel, and then sanding that, and it's getting a bit rough. And when I begin to work images up, then the sanding gives a graininess, and I found that very attractive. I wanted the graininess to talk to me and talk to the viewer, hopefully, about things that are just in the past but well remembered, or if not things in the past, things you might have imagined or things that had visited you from time to time. Hence, some of these rather peculiar figures who are emerging from some background that's beyond our sight. These little characters who are, I call them little guys who live on the flip side. They're the other side of the world, and they are a little odd. They're a little whimsical. I don't think they have any ill intentions, but they certainly are characters who've been around the block and seen a few things. And they render themselves onto these paintings and turn up. And my job is really just to make sure they get pulled into place and so that you can see them. So that's the adventure, that's the journey for me right now with my artwork. Moving all the time and never quite sure where the next step will be and when the painting is finished. And quite often I have to ask them again and again, are you done yet? And they'll say, no, but they won't help me out. And then suddenly I'll walk by, hang them on the wall for a while and look at them, and then I'll walk by one day and I'll say, aha, there's the final stroke right there. And then we're done.